The Big Brother show actually derived its name from a book called 1984 by a man called George Orwell. In that book, George Orwell imagined a totalitarian state. Totalitarian means absolute dictatorship where subservience and total submission is expected of the people. Now, there are two very troubling observations that you need to make about this current Big Brother show that goes on every time. First observation, and I explained this in the other video, is that the insignia that they use for this eye is the evil eye of Horus. This is what they use for this, okay? They call it the evil eye of Horus. Don't mind what other people tell you that it is this about good luck or bad luck or whatever nonsense. It is the evil eye of Horus. That thing is not a good symbol. It's a very deep occultic symbol, even used in invocation of spirits. And that's a topic for another day. That is what has become the insignia for the Big Brother show. And so seeing that insignia takes me back to 1984 by George Orwell, where people kept arguing after the book was written, wondering why did the Big Brother not show up? Why didn't we get to see Big Brother? Who was he? Who could he be? Was he a spirit? Was he a man? Was he a character? Was he this? Was he that? Well, from what is happening in the Big Brother show right now, it's very, very obvious and clear, and I know it already from research, that the Big Brother they're talking about is Lucifer, manifested in the form of the Antichrist. So you see, what is going on with the Big Brother show is that they are trying to condition the masses. They are trying to condition the global population to what life will look like when the Antichrist shows up. There's something they call social engineering. So with Big Brother show, they are trying to socially engineer the masses to get people to get used to something. If you want to know where social engineering has worked very well, look at a place called Nigeria. In Nigeria, the British and the colonial masters have succeeded in raising or creating a place where you have the highest concentration of dumb people on earth, the highest concentration of glorified ignorant people. People who are ignorant are happy that they are ignorant, and they don't even know that they are ignorant. That is social engineering. This is what the Big Brother show is meant to do. It's a man called Benjamin Creme. Benjamin Creme, I think, is late now. He actually claimed at some point, he claimed that he was the mouthpiece or the forerunner of the Maitreya Buddha. Maitreya Buddha is supposed to be the Antichrist, okay? And so he said he was the forerunner. And he said that when the Antichrist finally manifests in his physical self, that he's going to be speaking to humanity telepathically.
He will not speak, not say a word, but his thoughts, his ideas will be heard inwardly, telepathically, by everybody in the world, everybody above the age of 14. So if you're 14, you're Slovenian, you'll hear him in Slovenian. If you're Russian, you'll hear him in Russian. Americans in American, English in English, French in French, Dutch in Dutch, and so on. He will come into telepathic rapport with every adult in the world, and each of us will hear him inwardly, telepathically, in our own language.
So you can see, just like the Big Brother, he was speaking to people almost telepathically because he had to control what you're thinking, he had to control what you're doing, and then you are also constantly reminded that he is watching you. That's why in the Big Brother show, the camera is watching everything they do. And now, because Big Brother speaks to them telepathically, which they don't know in that show, there's a lot of evil that is introduced into this show every time. You see, our society every day is confronted with the profanities that proceed from this show, and people don't see anything wrong with it. Look, I'm not trying to run your life for you. I'm not trying to make a choice for you. It's up to you if you decide to watch it. But I'm telling you that the spiritual implication of the Big Brother show outweighs anything you can ever imagine possible. That thing is so deep, and a lot of people don't know. Of course, immorality is already very rampant and common in the show. You see people making love, having sex every time in the show, and they call it after hours. I don't watch that show. I scroll on my Facebook page and see people post video. I can't even see it. Oh, they're making love. I can't watch that nonsense. I had never, from the first time I saw Big Brother show, I never liked it. But you see, they are introducing all this. They're going to introduce homosexuality. They're going to introduce bisexuality. They're going to introduce all kinds of ills through that show. Because what will happen in the show is going to be dependent on what the Big Brother telepathically transfers to the people who are in the show. People do not know that the guys who are in the Big Brother house are actually under demonic possession. That is why in the book, the Big Brother is not seen. You hear a voice talking to you, but you can't see the person, and you're not asking, who is this person talking to me? And then you cannot connect it to the insignia that you're having as the symbol